Stop that racket. It's annoying.
Yeah? Well, do you have any brighter ideas? All of magic is about to get ruined, and I'm stuck in this cell with a damn arena avatar!
Arena Avatar? That's Dr. Richard Garfield to you, son.
Dr. Richard Garfield?
That's right, in the flesh. I tried to come here to talk Rosewater into some sense, but he wouldn't listen.
Okay, everyone, I'm breaking out the Ragavan. You all know what that means.
Mark, this has to stop. You're ruining this game. You and your design team.
It's too late for me, Richard. You don't know the power of the dark side.
Then you are lost. I fought him for many days, but I couldn't beat his commander. Too powerful. After he defeated me, he brought me here in front of his master, Lord Bezos.
If you couldn't beat Mark, then what hope do I have against him or Bezos for that matter? My decks are all 7s at most!
It's over. Magic is lost. Even now, they draw closer to the ultimate commander. So much power. What can men do against such reckless hate?
Play with me. Get out and play with me!
Perhaps? One last glorious game? Take this, my boy. You need it to beat Mark.
Planeswalkers! How you doing? And welcome back to the Moot channel, the #1 source for the Ultimate Commander decks. Today, we have a treat. We are answering a viewer's request. They wanted something to get them kicked out of a McDonald's, and we aim to deliver. So I'll be building Grand Arbiter Augustin IV, an Azorius 2 colorless human advisor who makes all our blue and white spells cheaper, while taxing our opponent's spells by making them more expensive. So like the IRS agents we are today, we are going to make the table miserable and confused about what taxes they are paying. The strategy is simple. In order to make the table unalive in Minecraft, we will crush their spirit by making the game unplayable for them, only comboing off if we have some sadists at the table. This deck will require a large sense of intelligence and willpower, something I know all Manamute subscribers have, so let's move into the creatures. For creatures, we have the fun ones and the not so fun ones. For the unfun cards, we are going to be playing Esper Sentinel to draw cards and add to the list of taxes. And Dranith Magistrate, who like a Khajiit on Skooma cannot be reasoned with, so no one will get their commanders out except for us. Grand Abolisher to stop any hope of interacting with us on our turn, and Hushbringer to put Marin and Omnath players on life support, and Lavinia Azorius Renegade to combo lock people out of the game and keep the game fair. Soulless Jailer to make sure the graveyard stays dead and also works as a lock piece as well. Archon of Emeria to keep the opponent's mana base humble while also making their decisions easier as they will only have one. Aven Mind Sensor to piss off the ramp players, and Fate Spinner to confuse our players and have them look up a brand new card. Who doesn't love learning? Spellseeker to add consistency to our deck, and Urza, Lord High Artificer, because like true James Bond villains, we need the ultimate henchman who will not only give us the eventual win, but he will also make it a horrible experience for everyone, as we will have to shuffle our deck each time. Now I know what you're thinking. Manamute, where are the fun cards? Well, I lied. We are playing some Planeswalkers like Narset Part of Veils to keep our opponents playing fair magic one card at a time and empty their hands on occasion. Teferi Time Raveler to lock people out and protect us on our turns. Teferi Master of Times to always hold priority to annoy people and draw cards. Teferi Hero of Dominaria, which also locks people out with cards like Stasis, but it's also just good enough on its own to warrant your death at the table. And lastly, Tezzeret the Seeker to find Winter Orb and then help us get out from under it. For our 1-mana spells, we are playing Path to Exile and Swords to Plowshare. Go figure, they are the best removal in our colors. Enlightened Tutor to find combo, and Mystical Tutor to grab a counter or board wipe. For counter magic, we are playing Counter Spell, Dovin's Beetle for those real stubborn mages, and Muddle the Mixture, as it can also be transmuted for something like Winter Orb. Fierce Guardianship, because free counter magic is great, and Commit to Memory that, hopefully with the power of Narset, will empty our opponent's hands. Speaking of wheels, we also have Windfall and Emergency Powers to work with our Narset as well. For tutors other than the 1-mana ones I mentioned earlier, we are playing Idyllic Tutor and Search for Glory. They basically add redundancy and consistency to the deck. For mass removal, we are playing Supreme Verdict because it can't be countered, Consuming Tide as it can potentially draw cards, and Cyclonic Rift because instant speed board wipes are a beautiful thing. For random includes, we have Dramatic Reversal for infinite mana shenanigans with Isochron Scepter, Savine's Reclamation for some recursion, Finks' Revelation to draw cards and gain us life, and Approach to the Second Sun for an alternate win con. Artifacts and enchantments are a big part of this deck, and it's where we get a lot of our staxes and taxes. Starting off, we have our ramp, which is going to be Jeweled Lotus, which is getting a reprint, so pick up a copy while you can. Remember, the best time to pick it up is usually a week after the set comes out. Mana Vault and Soul Ring. Next, we have Arcane Signet, Azoria Signet, and Basalt Monolith with Rings of Brighthearth for infinite colorless mana. For stacks pieces, we are playing Meekstone to subjugate the Colossal Dreadmaws, Cursed Totem, just be careful of your own Urza, Blind Obedience, which can help us get some extra life. Next, we have Weathered Runestone for the Cascade decks, Winter Orb to suck the life out of the party, Rest in Peace, which combos with our Helm, Solemnity with Decree of Silence to lock people out of playing spells, Stasis, which combos with our Teferi and several other cards, and finally Omen Machine to lock people out with a few different cards, but Drannith Magistrate is an easy one to show. For taxes, we are playing Sphere of Resistance and Thorn of Amethyst, as our commander helps us basically ignore their texts, Aura of Silence to finally put down the Sithis players, God Pharaoh Statue to really ramp up the tax, Rhystic Study and Smothering Tide so we can annoyingly ask each player each turn 2 questions at bare minimum. For random includes, I put in Isochron Scepter for infinite mana with Dramatic Reversal and Mana Rocks, Lightning Greaves to protect our commander because he is the only outlet for our opponent's aggression, Helm of Obedience to combo with Rest in Peace, Helm of the Host because the only thing better than one commander is 2, and finally Phyrexian Unlife to go with our Solemnity to make sure our opponents will always have someone to play with. For the mana base, go what's best for you and your budget, but feel free to copy mine, and it can be found in the deck list in the description below. For any standout lands, I would say it's Hall of Heliod's Generosity and Academy Ruins. They're very nice to have, but they're not totally necessary. For the combos of the deck, I will explain 2 of them and leave the other 8 for you to discover through playing the deck or, reading the cards. So starting off, we have the one-shot combo that won't kill the table, but will take a player out. It can take out a table, but you need multiple ways to untap your artifacts, which the deck technically does have, but a lot of things have to go right for that, so I won't include it. So this combo will require Helm of Obedience and Rest in Peace to be on the battlefield, and the way it works is you pay 1 into the Helm and target one of your opponents, causing said opponent to mill a card until a creature card is put into their graveyard. Unfortunately for them, Rest in Peace will ensure no card ever actually hits the graveyard. It will instantly exile their library, and no Infinite Turn spell or Kozilek can save them from this. For our next combo, we have one of our hard locks, so that means it won't kill the table, it just locks people out of playing the game. The way it works is it has Lavinia, Azorius Renegade, and Omen Machine. Omen Machine doesn't let people draw cards, so already that's a pretty scary card, people are going to hate it. But here's the thing, when they would draw a card, instead Omen Machine will exile the top card of their library. If it's land, it goes on the battlefield, but if it's a spell, they get to cast it for free. Lavinia, however, will not let them play spells for free, so they basically can't play anything. We can, so they're completely locked out. That's going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed my explanation of the deck, and be sure to tell me in the comments what's the fastest way you've died playing this deck or any other. If you have any suggestions or commanders you want to see, be sure to join our Discord or leave it in the comment below. I'd like to thank you personally for watching this far into the video, and stay tuned for the next Campy Fever Dream intro that will come out shortly. Peace!